Welcome bros, Freddy here, the true Spartan, and today we're gonna talk about the attack boats or the rape boats as I wanna call them because they're kinda OP and believe me guys, DICE is gonna nerf them. So I'm gonna guide you through the entire mentality you have to have when you're playing with an attack boat. Since we didn't have the attack boat on Battlefield 3, a lot of people don't know the power of the attack boat, and it's a huge power guys. It's like a tank of the sea. Actually in my opinion it's like an LAV, a tank and an AA gun on the sea. All the attack charts obviously apply for the attack boat. If you hit it on the back it takes a lot of damage, and if you hit it on the front it takes less damage. But there's a position on the attack boat where you can actually have someone to repair it, so it's like a little bird too. It has two seats for chain guns like a transport helicopter, so it's a transport helicopter too, and the driver has two main guns, the primary weapon which is basically a cannon and the secondary weapon which basically shoots rockets. It shoots a lot of different kinds of rockets, like the tow missile, the laser guided, the TV guided, the new ones that are called the Zuni rockets, but I'm gonna go and talk about it in a little bit. One of the many things you need to know about the attack boat guys is that the secondary sheets that have the chain guns are really important, because the guys that are manning the chain guns are suppressing the enemy like hell and you can finish them up really fast, or you can have actually your body suppressing them or finishing them off. In this particular game I went 25-0, yeah guys, flawless, and my body went 17-0 that was manning the chain gun, so he went flawless too. You also need to know guys that you don't have to engage in close range. You need to use the attack boat in medium to long range, because a lot of people who start shooting at you RPGs, and the RPGs do a lot of damage to this one, and you won't have anything, you won't have the time to run around and get repaired or something. You will get destroyed instantly. So having a distance between you and your enemy is good for you to retreat. If you are near an island, it's good to have cover between, like behind a rock or an island or something like that. The good thing about maintaining long distance between you and your enemy is that you won't get destroyed really fast and you will have time to react if you get damaged. The bad thing is that you have to learn the drop the bullets of the cannons and the rockets have in distance. So you need to learn by heart the drop of the cannon and the drop of the rockets and how to guide them in long range. You won't kill a lot of people on the first games, but when you realize and understand how much the bullets drop over distance, like you did with sniping in Battlefield 3, you will start raping people while maintaining long distance, like 200 meters away from them. And they will get suppressed a lot and they won't have the ability to react, and hopefully your team will advance. In this particular game that you're watching right now, my team didn't give a shit about the MCOM and we didn't arm it and we lost, even though I went 25-0 on the attack boat and my body went 17-0 attack boat. That is something that players need to be ashamed of, for taking so much skills and playing the game, the rush mode game, like a TDM and not as it's fucking supposed to be played. Some people actually tried to swim all the way to my boat and repair tool it or put C4 on it. Yeah guys, you can do that while swimming, and I'm not sure if you can actually put C4 on jet skis and bail them and blow them up on an attack boat. You might be able to do that like in Battlefield 3, but I haven't tested it yet and I'm not sure guys. I'm gonna try it out and tell you in another video probably. So you need to have your eyes peeled for guys that have C4s and maybe use a jet ski to come all the way to you and repair told you. That's why there is an upgrade, the proximity scan on the attack boats. Even though if you're a little bit careful, I would suggest another upgrade instead of the proximity scan, because there are not a lot of people in the middle of the sea running around trying to repair tool you, but some people might try that if they don't have a javelin yet or something like that. So aside from all the general information and tips I can give you guys about the attack boat, let's move on to the unlocks. And as I told you, it's pretty easy to, in a couple of games, or get on all your unlocks for the attack boat, except if DICE patches is out. So in your primary weapon you got your 25mm cannon, your 30mm cannon and your burst cannon. I would suggest, especially if you're playing Rush, your primary weapon to be an anti-infantry weapon, so you can go for the 30mm cannon because of the increased blast radius. Now if you're playing Conquest and you want to destroy tanks, helicopters and other stuff, you can go for the burst cannon, but in my opinion I would suggest to have anti-air and anti-vehicle equipment on your secondary weapon. Now moving on to the secondary weapon, guys, obviously if you're playing Rust, you're in the attacking team with the attack boat and the other team doesn't have a lot of vehicles and air support. So you can go for the Zuni rockets, which are absolutely amazing for spamming and killing people over at the objective and protecting the MCOM while you're trying to plant it and blow it up. Now if you're playing on Conquest, I would suggest to use either the laser guided missile or the passive radar. The passive radar is a surface to air missile that you gotta keep the lock on the vehicle in order to blow it up. And the laser guided missile is an anti-tank missile that you again have to keep the lock on in order to hit the target. It also can get laser designated target even though if it's out line of sight. The final lock is the DV guided missile, where you actually guide the missile by yourself, and in my opinion, if you have the skill, you can use that and blow everything up. Now moving on to the countermeasures, we got the IR smoke, the smoke screen, the fire extinguisher and the active protection, and hands down the active protection is the best one because it automatically blows up any rocket that tries to hit you. The problem with that is that the system will enter a cooldown after the threat is neutralized, and that might be a little bit risky, but that happens with all the countermeasures. You can't absorb every fucking rocket that everybody shoots at you. On the vehicle optics section, we got 3 unlocks: the zoom optics, the IR and the V, and the thermal optics. We all know what the zoom optics is. The RNV is where everything becomes green, and the thermal is where everything becomes white and black, and white is hot and black is cold. So it boils down to personal preference. I personally prefer the zoom optics because I can snipe across the map with my cannon. Now moving on to the upgrades, guys, there's the maintenance, the thermal camo, the proximity scan, which I don't suggest except if you can't see what's going on around you, the belt feeder and the aerator. If you're having problem in playing Conquest, if you're having problem with air vehicles, you should put the aerator in order to know where the helicopters or the jets are coming from. I personally prefer the belt feeder in order to spam like crazy, but it's not Battlefield 3, guys. You have to wait for your bullets to reload. Some people would get maintainers or thermal camo if you're getting a lot of lock-ons from enemy rockets, javelins, RPGs, whatever is that. So it boils down again to personal preference and what happens in this specific game you're playing right now. If you have a problem with aircraft, you're gonna go with the aerator and the thermal camo or something like that. If there's a lot of jihad guys trying to get you with this C4, you're gonna go for the proximity scan, the maintenance or the belt feeder. So that was about it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to leave a like, and as always, stay bows. I'm out.